When you are not sure if it is right or wrong, good and bad, when there's no division between evil and good, when even the leaders of church sometimes say, well, violence for the sake of justice, especially social justice, is justified. The media puts himself in the opposition to the society in general, at large. Separate, alienated, claim that they know how to lead society forward. If the power is denied to them, they take it by force. Crisis is when society cannot function any more productively. It collapses. Civil war, an invasion. To reverse this process, from here, it takes only and always military force. No other force on earth can reverse this process at this point. What subversion is? Basically, it consists of 4 periods, time-wise. The first stage of subversion is the process which is called the demoralization. It takes from, say, 15 to 20 years to demoralize a society. This is the time sufficient to educate one generation, one lifetime span of a person, a human being, which is dedicated to study, to shaping up the outlook, ideology, personality. No more, no less. Influencing or infiltration of various areas where public opinion is formulated or shaped. Religion, educational system, social life, administration, law enforcement system, military, and labor and employer relations. The target country obviously does something wrong. If it's a free democratic society, there are many different movements within the society. There are obviously in every society, there are people who are against this society. They may be simple criminals, ideologically in disagreement with the state policy, conscientious enemies, simply psychotic personalities who are against anything. And finally, there are a small group of agents of a foreign nation, bought, subverted. The moment all these movements will be directed in one direction, this is the time to catch that movement and to continue it until the movement forces the whole society into collapse, into crisis. These are the areas of application of subversion. What it means exactly? In case of religion, destroy it, ridicule it. As long as the basically accepted religious dogma is being slowly eroded and taken away from the supreme purpose of religion, to keep people in touch with the supreme being, that serves the purpose. Therefore, replace it, accepted, respected religious organizations with fake organizations. Distract people's attention from the real faith and attract them to various different faiths. Education. Distract them from learning something which is constructive, pragmatic, efficient, Instead of mathematics, physics, foreign languages, chemistry, teach them history of urban warfare, natural food, anything, long as it takes you away, social life. Replace traditionally established institutions and organizations with fake organizations. Take away the initiative from people. Take away the responsibility. Establish social workers institutions. The people who are on payroll of whom? Society? No, bureaucracy. The main concern of social workers is not your family, not you, not social relations between groups of people. The main concern is to get the paycheck. The natural bodies of administration, which are traditionally either elected by people at large or appointed by elected leaders of society, are being actively substituted by artificial bodies. The bodies of people, groups of people whom nobody elected. Never. As a matter of fact, most of the people don't like them at all, and yet they exist. They think they know, they don't. The level of mediocrity. In a big establishment like New York Times, Los Angeles Times, major television network, you don't have to be excellent journalists. Power structure slowly is eroded by the bodies and groups of people who do not have neither qualification nor the will of people to keep them in power, and yet they do have power. Law enforcement, law and order organization and structure is being eroded. A policeman is a big, rude policeman. He abuses his power. A generalization like that. The hatred, the mistrust to the people who are supposed to protect you and enforce law and order. Moral relativity, a slow substitution of basic moral principles, whereby a criminal is not a criminal actually, he's a defendant. Even if his guilt is proven, there is still a doubt. Labor relations. At this stage, within 15 to 20 years, we destroy the traditionally established links of bargaining between employer and employee. This is the death of natural exchange, death of natural bargaining. Well, trade unions were established 100 years ago. The objective was to improve working conditions and to protect the rights of workers from those employers who were abusing their right because they had more money. Objectively, at that time, initially, the trade union movement did work. What we see now is that the bargaining process is no longer resulting into compromise, which is leading objectively to betterment of working conditions and increase of salary. What we see is that after each prolonged strike, the workers lose. Even if they have 10% increase of their salaries, they cannot catch up due to inflation and due to missed time. More than that, millions of people suffer from that strike because the economy now is interdependent. It's intertwined like one body. Now it's impossible anymore. If a garbage collector strikes today, the rest of the multi-million city is stinking. I mean, there's no more service. What is the motivation for strike? Improving workers' condition? No. Then what is it? To prove to these capitalists and the obedient horde of workers like sheep follow these people, and they cannot disobey. Why? Because if they do, you know what happens to them? Pickets, murders, shooting truck drivers by picketers. Why? To improve conditions of workers? No. Ideology. Whenever trade union strikes, we have influx of propaganda, mass media, ideological dissemination. The workers' right, and we repeat it like parrots. Yes, workers' right. Whose rights? Workers? No, the only freedom of worker to sell his labor according to his own desired will is taken away from him. By whom? By trade union boss. Unlimited power is given. Responsibility. I want to sell my labor not for $2.50 an hour, but for $2. I don't have right. my freedom is denied to me. I was made to believe by media, by business, by advertising agencies that I need more and more and more. Have you ever heard any advertising on TV to consume less? We would snow plow editorial offices, student organizations, religious groups with literature of class struggle. Then a propaganda of illegitimate aspirations of working class, betterment of life, equality, equality. By your deeds, God will judge you. What you do is important, the merit of your personality. You cannot legislate equality. If you want to be equal, you have to be equal, you have to deserve it. And yet we build our society on the principle of equality. We say people are equal. You know it is false, it's a lie. Some people are tall and stupid, others are short, bold, and clever. If we put the principle of equality in the basis of our socio-political structure, it's the same thing as building a house on sand. Sooner or later it will collapse, and that's exactly what happens.